See here, first a new B of 10. From here, control comes here. Okay, this is already given. This brackets, it calls default constructor of current class. This argument 1, argument 2, it calls deparametered constructor of current class. Super brackets, it calls default constructor of super class. It calls parametered constructor of super class. Okay, in these 4, which one implicitly comes? Super brackets implicitly comes. Okay, but you also studied this dot, super dot. In these 2, which one default implicitly comes? This dot. This is for variables and methods. These 4 for constructors only. Okay, in these two, this dot implicitly comes. In these 4, super brackets implicitly comes. Okay, now new B of 10. Control comes to parametered constructor of B class. Here implicitly super will be there. I written this. That means overridden. This is the reason only. These all must be first line. So these brackets are these arguments are super brackets are super arguments. Must be a first statement. Okay, so in this 4, it is implicitly comes. In these 2, it is implicitly. Okay, this and super we can use for variables and methods. For variables and methods. For constructors, these 4 for constructors. So this dot, super dot. In these 2, this dot implicitly for variables and methods. This bracket semicolon, super bracket semicolon, this argument semicolon, super argument semicolon for constructors. It is implicitly comes. This or super must be a first statement. Okay, it's compulsory first statement only required. In other location, if you write, error comes. This is only because super implicitly comes. No, on that you can change. If you write another place, this super also will be there again. Super will be there again. One more comes. That is the problem comes. Error comes. One time means okay. Either implicitly or explicitly. One time only. Second line if you write error, because it should be a first statement only, no? Second, that is treated as second line. If you write 2 times also. Second line error. That is also said 2 times on. That is also treated as next line. Complete program also in 1 line you can write. Complete program also 1 line possible in Java. No indentation. If Python means error, but Java supports. Complete one program 1 line only write. Works. Because braces everything is there, no? It works. So semicolon if you write, that is next line only, treated as next line. That statement finished. Next line like. It must be a first statement in constructor only. Other place also error. That should be constructor only, inside a constructor only. Over. See, up to exception handling, every point you have to remember. Later, any application you can build. But up to exception handling, you have to remember subject. But after exception handling, no need to remember. But what students are doing is concept they are not by hearting. Program they are by hearting. They are doing reverse. After exception handling, no need to by heart the program. Any program you can write if you by heart these concepts. But reverse they are doing. Program they are by hearting. That is wrong. Okay. If you by heart program, say how many will by heart? Maximum 40 or 50. But next, not possible. Okay. By hearting program is wrong. By heart the concept, any program you can write. Is it over? So this dot, super dot for variables and methods only we can apply. This dot implicitly comes. This bracket, super bracket, this argument, super bracket. For constructors we can use. Super bracket implicitly comes. In this 4 only one we can write. By default this one comes. If you write any other, it is overridden. Okay. Now, see here. New B of 10. From here control where it comes? Parametered constructor of B class. Here implicitly actually what will be there? Super. On that myself I written this. Now super is not there. Overridden. Overridden. Okay. After this, from here control where it comes now? Default constructor of B class. Here implicitly what will be there? Super brackets. From here where it comes? A class default constructor. Here this of 20, it comes here. Okay. So write this example. Over. Now little bit I'll change. One more example. I'll remove this. I'll remove this. I'll remove parameter. Now from here control where it comes. B class, which constructor? Default constructor. Here implicitly what will be there? Suppose if I write this of 10, parameter constructor of B class. From here implicitly what will be there? It comes to default constructor of A class. Here this of 20, parameter constructor of A class. So first 20 printed, next A class printed, next 10 printed, next B class printed. Okay, see, file, save. Java C B.java. See, 20 A class, 10 B class. Okay, write this one. This one also write it. Over. So from here control comes here. Okay, from here control comes here. From here control comes here. Here implicitly super. Implicitly super here. From here control comes here. Okay. From here, control comes here. Then what is output? 20 A class, 10 B class. That's it. So new B, default constructor of B class. This of 10, parameter constructor of B class. Super, default constructor of super class. This of 20, parameter constructor of A class. So 20 A class, 10 B class. This is about super keyword. Okay. So with one object only, all constructors also can be called. This only. Only one object I created, 4 constructors called. Okay. Now, next concept. Final keyword. Note on. Final keyword. It is called as modifier because it modifies the behavior of a variable, comma, method and class. It is called as modifier because it modifies the behavior of variable, method and class. By using final keyword, we can prevent value of the variable, comma, method overriding and inheritance. Final keyword. It is called as modifier because it modifies the behavior of a variable, method and class. By using final keyword, we can prevent value of the variable, method overriding and inheritance. So final keyword we can apply to variables, we can apply to methods, we can apply to class. Final keyword can be used to prevent value of the variable, method overriding and inheritance. By using final keyword, we can prevent value of the variable, method overriding and inheritance. By using final keyword, we can prevent value of the variable, method overriding and inheritance. Is it over? Now I'll explain. Integer x equal to 10. Okay. After this, x plus plus. Next first line x value 10. What is the second line? What is the x value? 11. Okay. It will become 11. Once if I write a final, it is not possible to change. It's an error. So if you write a final here, it is error. It is error. Error because final values cannot be changed. Okay. Alright, son. So if you want to prevent the value, then we use final. If you want to prevent the value, then we can use final. If you don't want to allow to change, error because final values cannot be changed. Next point, final keyword can be applied to instance variables, comma, class variables, and local variables. All variables you can apply. Final keyword can be applied to instance variables, comma, class variables, and local variables. Instance variable also you can apply final. Class variable also you can apply final. Local variable also you can apply final. Final keyword can be applied to instance variables, comma, class variables, and local variables. See, in future also, if the value is not going to be changed, in that situation we can write final. If the value is going to be changed, then don't write final. See, for example, you already studied instance variable, class variable, local variable. When we have to use instance variable? When we have to use? If the value is different for objects, then instance variable. Next, when we have to use class variable? If the value is same for all objects, then we have to go for class variable. When we have to use local variable? To perform the task. Okay, if any calculation is there, and if you want to perform any task, or if the variable depending on other variable, then we have to go for local variable. That is clear. Now, if I ask whether instance variable, like if I give variable name, you can select no. Employee number, name of the employee, address, company name, mobile number, mail ID, Aadhaar card number, voter ID, age, date of birth. You can give answers, no? No. Now final, non-final. That can be instance variable or class variable or local variable. If the value is going to be changed in future, you want to allow, then non-final. It is not going to be changed, final. Okay? Now, employee number, final or non-final? Employee number is final. Once if you join in the company, they'll give an ID. That ID is fixed. They won't change. So it is final. Name. Name also final. Okay. Generally we won't change. Address. Address anytime you can change. Address different places comes, no? Anytime you can change. So address is non-final. Mobile number. Your mobile number anytime you can change. Non-final. Mail ID. Non-final. Age. Your age is fixed. Your age always 20 only. So age is final or non-final? Non-final. Date of birth? Date of birth is final. Date of birth we cannot change. Okay? Date of birth is final. Aadhaar card number? Voter ID? Those are final. Okay? Like that. So, in future, if the value is going to be changed, you want to allow means non-final. Not going to be changed, you don't want to allow means final. Like that, you have to select. Okay? Now, final variable, final keyword, you can apply to instance variable also, class variable also, local variable also. Suppose class variable, already static will be there. Final also you can write. Final static or static final. That is, you can interchange. Static final also works, final static also works. Okay? Now, one more point. It can be local variable or it can be class variable or instance variable. final variable must be initialized. Otherwise, compile time error occurs. Final variable must be initialized. Otherwise, compile time error occurs. So, compulsory we have to initialize. Initialization compulsory. Otherwise, error. Final variable must be initialized. Otherwise, compile time error occurs. That can be instance variable or class variable or local variable, whatever it may be. See, file, open. See, suppose integer x. Now, which type of variable? How many ways to access? What are those? So system dot out dot println. Now I want to access. What we have to write? New demo dot x. Like this we can initialize, no? We can access, no? Now if I compile and execute, what will be the output? You studied. What is the output? 0. Default value. Default value is concept I given in variable time. You will get a 0 default value. Say file, save. If I compile, sorry, Java C demo.java, Java demo, 0. This is already you studied, but final if I write, now final variable must be initialized, otherwise compile time error occurs. So if the variable is final, compulsory here only you have to initialize, otherwise error. Say file, save. If I compile and run, you will get an error. If I compile, error. Variable x not initialized. The compulsory. Now write this one. Error because final variable must be initialized. If it is non-final, you'll get a default value 0. Final variable compulsory or initialize. Is it over? Suppose if I write like this, now value no, what is output? 10. See, if I compile, if I execute, output is 10. Okay. Suppose if I write like this, give me answer. Will it compile? Yes or no? How many people answer yes? Okay. Now, just now I given final variable must be initialized. Okay, but is it initialized? Yes, because constructor is used to initialize. You study no constructor purpose is that one. If you write 2 lines also, it will be considered as 1 line. Because when this memory allocated, whenever object is created, when this is executed, that means total code at a time executed. That's what initialization. That's what it is valid. See, file, save, compilation, execution. It is also called initialization. It appears like a 2 lines, but initialization, right? It is also called initialization. So valid, you will get output 10. So instance variable memory allocated whenever object is created. Constructor is called whenever object is created. That means this total code at a time executed. That's what it is called initialization. That's what initialization. So it is called as initialization. Initialization. Spelling mistake happened. Over. Remaining we'll see tomorrow. Not completed. Final keyword not completed. Tomorrow it will be continued.